Welcome to the season premiere of High School Quiz Show Maine. We've got 16 schools competing to be this year's champion and take home $1,000. In our first qualifying match, it's the Raiders of Oak Hill High School taking on the Witches of Brewer High School. That's next on the season premiere of High School Quiz Show Maine.
Production support for High School Quiz Show Maine is provided by
the Maine Education Association, standing with educators, ensuring their voices, values, and priorities are respected as they continue to teach and support Maine students during the pandemic and beyond. Learn more at mainea.org.
Energy is about more than just keeping the lights on. It's about living life. As parents, friends, and teammates, Unitil is proud to support High School Quiz Show Maine. Unitil, more than a utility. Part of your community. Cyber attacks aren't going away. You can talk to an independent agent about cyber coverage from Safety Insurance. It covers data restoration, data recreation, system restoration, and more. Safety Insurance. We'll help you manage life's storms, even the cyber kind. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to Season 5 of High School Quiz Show Maine. I'm your new host, Todd Gutner. As you may know, the show took a break last year, and you can probably guess why, but we're back for Season 5. A few things are going to be a little different this season. For one, we don't have a live studio audience. That's unfortunate. We will not play the head-to-head round either, also unfortunate, and we're taking numerous precautions behind the scenes. What hasn't changed, though, is that we have 16 schools from around the entire state who will compete for the $1,000 grand prize for their school's project graduation. Also this year, you'll have the chance to win $500 for the school of your choice with our Quiz Show Conundrum contest. That's coming up a little later in the show. In our opening match, we have Oak Hill High School from Wales taking on Brewer High School from Brewer. Let's go meet the players for our kickoff match. For Oak Hill, we have Julian, Paige, Tiger, Kaylee, with alternates Marissa and Krista, and coaches Ed Zuiz and Derek Anderson. And for Brewer, we have Lindsay, Swaroop, Cooper, and Ryan. Their alternate is Emma, and that's coached by Sue Ann Gades and Andrea Martin. The competition has 3 rounds, a toss-up round, a category round, and a lightning round. We'll start with the toss-up round. Now, all answers are worth 10 points, and this is the only round with no point deductions for wrong answers. Players must wait for me to complete the question, and if one team answers incorrectly, the other team will be given a chance to answer. All right, you guys got butterflies over there?
Yeah, a little bit.
I do too, all right? So we're all in this together. You ready to start playing? All right, here comes the first question. What science teacher leads her class on adventures in the original Magic School Bus series? Ryan, Brewer.
Miss Frizzle.
That is correct. Nice job. In July 2020, people in the Northeast woke up early to catch a glimpse of C-2020 F3, also called Neowise. What kind of celestial object is Neowise? Ryan again. Oh, sorry, Cooper and Brewer.
A comet.
Correct, a comet. Araminta Ross was the birth name of what woman who worked with the Underground Railroad? Ryan, Brewer.
Harriet Tubman.
That is correct. Because of its policy of apartheid, what country was banned from Olympic competition from 1964 until it was reinstated for the 1992 Barcelona Games? Brewer, Ryan.
South Africa.
That is correct. All right, now up next, we have a picture question, so please look at the monitor right over here. This country has the most islands in the world with more than 221,800 of them. It's also finished fifth in the 2022 Olympic medal count at the Beijing Winter Olympics? Julian Oak Hill.
Ireland?
I'm sorry?
Ireland?
No, that is incorrect. Cooper Brewer.
The Netherlands.
Also incorrect. Answer, Sweden. We move on. Radioactive, Believer, and Whatever It Takes were hit singles from what band from Las Vegas? Cooper Brewer.
Imagine Dragons.
Correct. For, while, and do are basic types of what computer programming structure that repeats a section of code until a specified condition is met? Cooper Brewer.
Loops.
Correct. Which one of the 4 pro tennis Grand Slam events is played in London? Brewer Ryan.
Wimbledon.
That is correct, Wimbledon. All right, now up next we have a video question. So once again, take a look at the monitor right over here.
Hi, I'm Patty White, reporter here at Maine Public. Name this American English grammar style and usage guide created by American journalists working for or connected with the Associated Press.
Cooper Brewer.
Chicago Manual of Style.
Incorrect. Oak Hill a chance. The answer is AP Style Book. All right, we move on. Since 1972, the path to nominating U.S. presidential candidates has officially started with caucuses in which Midwestern state? Julian Oak Hill.
Iowa.
That is correct. A person adjusts her f-stop when she's doing what? Is it A, taking photographs, B, changing a car tire, or C, setting up her Wi-Fi? Cooper.
Taking photographs.
Taking photographs is correct. Math question now. What is the lowest common denominator of 3/5 and 5/8? Brewer Ryan.
40.
40 is correct. The chief sites of the ancient Olmec civilization are located in what modern-day country? Brewer Ryan.
Mexico.
Mexico is correct. In a storybook by John Steinbeck, Kino is a diver who finds what precious object? The answer is pearl, or pearl of the world. All right, measuring roughly 150 million kilometers, an astronomical unit, or AU, is the distance between the center of the Earth and the center of which celestial body? Julian Oak Hill.
The sun.
Correct, the sun. Which of these is a quadrilateral? A, cone, B, cube, or C, trapezoid? Ryan Brewer.
Trapezoid.
Correct. Usually warm or cold, what's the weather forecasting term for the boundary zone where air masses of different temperatures meet? Tiger Oak Hill.
Front.
Proud of you. Very proud of you. Front is correct.
Yeah.
The definition of stan as a super devoted fan derives from a song by what American rapper? Cooper Brewer.
Biggie Smalls.
That is incorrect.
Eminem.
Tiger Oak Hill.
Eminem.
Eminem is correct. Math question again. Caitlin's gross annual income is $45,000. She pays 20% of her income in taxes. What is her net annual income? Julian Oak Hill.
12.
That's incorrect. Swaroop.
36,000.
36,000 is it. What imaginary line runs through India, China, Mexico, and the Bahamas at approximately 23.5 degrees north latitude? Tiger Oak Hill.
Bermuda Triangle.
That's incorrect. Ryan Brewer.
The equator.
Also incorrect. The answer is Tropic of Cancer. From the Greek word for motion, what is the name for the energy an object has because it is moving? Swaroop.
Kinetic energy.
That is correct. A cook in New York City named Mary Mellon became notorious for spreading what disease in the early 20th century? Paige Oak Hill.
Salmonella.
Incorrect. Cooper.
Typhoid fever.
That is correct. Next question. 4 trigrams that symbolize heaven, earth, fire, and water are depicted on the national flag of what Asian country? Julian, Oak Hill.
South Korea.
Correct. South Korea. The force of buoyancy is equal to the weight of water displaced by a floating object is a principle attributed to what ancient Greek scientist? Ryan Brewer.
Archimedes.
That is correct. From the Spanish name for a cooking pot or kettle, what word refers to a large crater that forms when a volcano collapses? Cooper.
Basin.
Incorrect. Oak Hill a chance. Julian.
Paella.
It's tasty, but no. It's caldera. Caldera. All right, that is the end of round 1. We have a score of Oak Hill 50 and Brewer 150, but there's still a lot to go here. Great start to season 5. We'll meet the teams when we come back. Welcome back to High School Quiz Show Maine. As I said earlier, we're not doing the head-to-head round this season, but we will meet our players by asking them our traditional, slightly silly question. And this one is, what animated character do you identify with most and why? And Oak Hill, we're going to start with you. So Julian, why don't you lead off?
I would say Totoro because he's big and kind of goofy.
Okay. Paige, what do you got?
I'd have to say Garfield because I like food and I'm pretty lazy.
Yes, agreed. Agreed on all fronts. Tiger.
I'd say Johnny Bravo because I like to have fun.
Johnny Bravo, all right. Kaylee.
I'd say SpongeBob because I laugh a lot.
Nice, nice. Lindsay, we'll go over to Brewer now. What do you got?
Probably Belle from Beauty and the Beast because I want that library so badly.
So you like to read, is what you're
Yes,
saying?
I do.
Okay. Swaroop, what do you got for us?
Probably Donkey from Shrek because I can't stop talking sometimes.
You're like the life of a party in a way?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. Cooper.
I have to go with Lightning McQueen
Yeah?
because I run and I like to think I'm fast.
Are you, though?
I will be this outdoor season.
Nice.
Shout out to my coach, Mr. Rand. Ka-chow.
All right, Cooper. Thank you. Ryan, what do you got for us?
I would have to say Aang from The Last Airbender.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't mind being in a monastery, and I'm the last of my kind.
Wow.
So,
yeah. So you really? That's the direction you want to go in later on?
Well, no, I said I wouldn't mind.
Oh, you wouldn't mind. Okay. You clarified a little bit.
I can be alone.
All right. Thanks, guys. The category round is next, but first, here is your chance to win $500 for the school of your choice with our quiz show conundrum of the week.
Hi, I'm Grace Levitt, President of the Maine Education Association, and this is your quiz show conundrum. Unscramble the phrase, head slow. Your clue is, listen for the foghorn. That's head slow, listen for the foghorn.
Unscramble the word or phrase to reveal a Maine location. Send your answer along with your name and a Maine pre-K through secondary school of your choice to quizshow@mainepublic.org. We'll choose 2 of the correct answers at random, and the nominated schools will each win $500. A different conundrum will be revealed each week. Entries limited to 1 entry per household per question. Contest ends June 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Winners will be revealed during the Season 5 Championship episode. For full contest rules and alternate entry information, go to mainepublic.org/quizshow, and good luck.
We are back, and next up is our category round with the following choices. Girls on Film, Walk Like an Egyptian, X Marks the End, Seize the Day, Are You Wearing That, and Myth Demeanors. Now, each category has 5 questions with increasing point values. Players, you must wait for me to finish the question before you buzz in. You can confer with your teammates, but once you buzz in, you're no longer allowed to confer, and we'll need you to answer the question. And like in the toss-up round, if one team answers it incorrectly, the other team will be given the chance to answer it. All right, Oak Hill, you are up first. You can select the first category and get rolling.
Seize the day for 10.
Seas the day for 10. Now, these questions are going to be about seas of the world. Jamaica and the Cayman Islands can be found in what sea? Ryan Brewer.
The Caribbean Sea.
That is correct. Ryan, you have control.
Let's go to myth demeanors 10.
Myth demeanors for 10. These questions are about mythology. In Greek mythology, what god of the sky is the chief god of Mount Olympus? Cooper, Brewer.
Zeus.
That is correct, Zeus. You still have control.
Let's go with myth demeanors for 15, please.
Myth demeanors for 15. Who is the one-eyed father god of Norse mythology that rides an 8-legged horse called Sleipnir? Swaroop, Brewer.
Odin.
Correct, it is Odin. You still have control.
Let's go with myth demeanors for 20.
Myth demeanors for 20. In Greek mythology, which Titan was condemned by Zeus to carry the heavens on his shoulders? Oak Hill.
Kronos.
That is incorrect. Cooper, Brewer.
Atlas.
Atlas is correct. Brewer, you still have control here.
Let's go with myth demeanors for 25, please.
Myth demeanors for 25. The Egyptian god Ra, the Hindu god Surya, and the Shinto goddess Amaterasu are most closely associated with what object in nature? Ryan.
The sun.
That is correct, the sun. Brewer with control.
We will stick with myth demeanors for 30.
Myth demeanors for 30. Which deity in Hawaiian mythology is the goddess of fire and volcanoes and the creator of new land? Julian, Oak Hill.
Malawi?
That is incorrect. Brewer? The answer is Pele. Pele. We still have Brewer in control of this board.
Let's go with seize the day for 15.
Seize the day for 15. What super salty sea is bordered by Jordan, Israel, and the West Bank? Ryan and Brewer.
The Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea is correct. Brewer, you still have it.
Seize the day for 20.
Seize the day for 20. The Bering Sea touches the coast of which U.S. state? Cooper, Brewer.
Alaska.
Alaska, correct. You still have the board.
Let's go with seize the day for 25.
Seize the day, 25. The Danube River empties into which sea? Julian, Oak Hill.
The Mediterranean.
Incorrect. Brewer, you have an opportunity here. Ryan.
The Caspian Sea.
Incorrect. The answer is the Black Sea. Brewer, still in control.
We'll go with seize the day for 30.
All right, for 30 to wrap up the category. If you sailed from Bari, Italy, to Dubrovnik, Croatia, what sea would you cross? Ryan.
The Aegean Sea.
Incorrect. Oak Hill, a chance. Julian.
The Mediterranean.
Incorrect. It's the Adriatic. I think we named them all in the area, though. Brewer, you are still in control.
We'll go with walk like an Egyptian for 10.
Walk like an Egyptian for 10, and these questions will be about ancient Egypt. Near the pyramid of Khafra in Giza is a giant statue of what creature with a lion's body and human head? Ryan, Brewer.
Sphinx.
Sphinx is correct. You have the board.
We'll stick with walk like an Egyptian for 15.
Walk like an Egyptian, 15. From the Egyptian for great house, what title is commonly applied to rulers of ancient Egypt? Cooper, Brewer.
Pharaoh.
Pharaoh is right. We move on. What would you like, Brewer?
We'll stick with walk like an Egyptian for 20.
Walk like an Egyptian, 20. Which Macedonian leader conquered Egypt in 332 BC and ruled it remotely until his death in 323 BC? Ryan, Brewer.
Alexander the Great.
That is correct. You still have the board.
Stick with walk like an Egyptian for 25.
Walk like an Egyptian, 25. Which city on the Mississippi River in Tennessee takes its name from the capital of ancient Egypt during the 3rd to 8th dynasties? Ryan, Brewer.
Memphis.
Memphis is right. What would you like?
Walk like an Egyptian for 30.
Okay, for 30. There are no known life portraits of Cleopatra, but we do have portraits of what other famous Egyptian queen and wife of Akhenaten, whose name means the beautiful one has come? The answer is Nefertiti, or Nefertiti. I think that's right, Nefertiti. All right, Brewer, you still have control.
Let's go with Are You Wearing That for 10?
Alrighty, are you wearing that for 10? These questions are about things you wear. Don Freeman wrote books about what bear, whose name is the same as a thick cotton fabric with a ribbed texture? Swaroop.
Corduroy. Corduroy?
Corduroy is right. What would you like to do, Swaroop?
We'll stick with Are You Wearing That for 15?
All right, for 15. Doctor Who fans know that what type of hat named for a city in Morocco is cool? The answer is fez, a fez hat. Oh well, you still have control though over there, Brewer. What would you like?
Are You Wearing That for 20?
Okay, we're up to 20 now. Are you wearing that? What news and lifestyle website geared toward young women takes its name from a 19th century undergarment that makes a skirt puff out at the back? And it's Julian Oak Hill.
Blue Moose?
Incorrect. Brewer, you have a chance here. Answer, Bustle. Bustle. Brewer, still in control.
Let's go with X marks the end for 10.
X marks the end for 10. In this, each answer is a science term that ends with the letter X. What's the common name for the animal whose scientific name is Vulpes vulpes? Ryan.
A lynx.
That is incorrect. Oak Hill?
Fox.
Fox is correct. Fox is correct. Oak Hill, you have the board.
We'll go Girls on Film for 10.
Girls on Film for 10. These are questions about movies with girls as main characters. Awili Carvalho provided the voice of what Polynesian title character in a 2016 Disney film? Ryan Brewer.
Moana.
Moana is correct. Brewer, you have control again.
Let's go with X marks the end for 15.
X marks the end for 15. What is the medical name for the voice box? Julian Oak Hill.
Thorax.
It's incorrect. Brewer, you have a chance. Swaroop.
Phalanx.
Also incorrect. The correct answer is larynx.
Yeah.
We move on. Brewer, you still have the board, though.
Let's do Are You Wearing That for 25?
Okay, are you wearing that 25? A place where nuclear bombs were tested inspired the name of what two-piece swimsuit created by fashion designer Louis Rayard? Ryan Brewer.
Bikini.
Bikini is correct. All right. Wow, that was an exciting round. That ends the category round. And right now we have a score of Oak Hill at -80 and Brewer at 300. But it's the lightning round next, and anything can happen in the lightning round, so sit tight, and we'll be right back. We are back, and we're heading into the final 90 seconds of gameplay. It's the super exciting lightning round. Truly anything can happen. Oak Hill, you can come back in this for sure. You buzz in at any time I read the question. You get 20 points for each correct answer. An incorrect answer, though, will also cost you 20 points. Now the clock is set, and here we go. Who duets with Shawn Mendes on Senorita? Kaylee Oak Hill.
Camila Cabello.
That is correct. A raisin is a dried form of which fruit? Swaroop.
A grape.
A grape is correct. What musical features Lumiere and Mrs.
Beauty and the Beast.
Thank you. Yes, that's correct. Crabs, lobsters, and shrimp are part of which sub...
Crustaceans.
That is correct, Julian. Perseverance rover is on a mission to collect rocks from what planet? Swaroop.
Mars.
Mars is correct. What artist painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? Ryan Brewer.
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo. The Great Depression followed the stock market crash of what year? Ryan again.
1929.
1929 is right. I think, therefore I am, is associated with which French...
Rene Descartes.
Correct. As a senator, Kamala Harris represented what state?
California.
Lindsay, yes, good job. Bollywood refers to the film industry.
India.
Cooper, yes, India. Macbeth and Macduff held what title given to feudal lords in Scotland? Thane is the answer. We move on. What do we call the layer of trees? Oh, that is it. Let's see. Our winning team this week is Brewer with 440 points, and they'll be moving on to the quarterfinals in a few weeks. Our runner-up, Oak Hill, minus 20 points, but you guys really played an awesome game. Thank you for playing, and congratulations to both of you teams. Be sure to tune in next week. We've got Brunswick High School. They're taking on Morse of Bath in our second qualifying match. We want to thank you for watching High School Quiz Show Maine, and we'll see you again next time. Woo!
Production support for High School Quiz Show Maine is provided by
the Maine Education Association, standing with educators, ensuring their voices, values, and priorities are respected as they continue to teach and support Maine students during the pandemic and beyond. Learn more at mainea.org.
Energy is about more than just keeping the lights on. It's about living life. As parents, friends, and teammates, Unitil is proud to support High School Quiz Show Maine. Unitil, more than a utility, part of your community. Whether you prefer email, texting, or a live person, Safety Insurance is available to help you file a claim and pay your bill. Safety Insurance. We'll help you manage life storms. Learn more at safetyinsurance.com. And by viewers like you. Thank you.